I think I need to do that one more time. At least maybe just a couple more reps. Because the next jump is going to be the working set. And the first 2 sets, at least 2, you know, if I feel good, maybe 3. But the first at least 2 sets are going to be somewhat heavy. I'd imagine somewhere between 7 and 10 reps. So yeah, I think I need to do that one more time and nothing else. Just kind of give me a little more time to kind of let my nervous system and blood really start flowing, you know, because I don't know, I don't feel bad, but I just don't feel fully ready yet. You know what I'm saying? For that first real set. So I'm gonna do this one more time. And of course I'm gonna throw some gum in. That always does the trick. All right, I'll throw 245s on each side. Not a true 225. It's like 195 or something. Right around 200 pounds. I think that'll suffice since I'm going behind my head. Taking leg drive out a little too. Trying to keep my feet up here. Now, you know, don't get me wrong. I can push some, but it's nothing like having my feet firmly planted on the ground. You know, it's just different. A little more isolated from my shoulders, and it's just harder like this. I'm proud of myself, man. I almost, because yesterday at the end of leg day, I was like, you know, maybe I'll do shoulders tomorrow. I haven't hit shoulders in like 2 weeks, so you know, it's probably time to throw in a good workout. And I almost walked in here and just started doing some fucking curls. Said, fuck it, I'm doing arms, but I didn't, and I'm proud of myself. I think my elbow's really gonna. I won't know until several days from now, but I think my elbow will really be thankful, giving it a little bit of a break. Of course, I'm hitting chest tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. But it's, you know, like I said, triceps is the main body part. Almost every exercise, it you know, with different levels, but it always hurts. There's a select few tricep exercises I can do and kind of just power through it, and it's not terrible. It hurts a little, but like I said, I haven't hit shoulders in like 2 weeks. My elbows giving me issues, so everything kind of lined up, and it's like just sending me signs. If you believe in that kind of shit, you're like, you know what, lay off the arms today, just do some shoulders. Let me take a 25 off, throw another 45 on, pick a better song. I'm getting to the first set. Hmm. Ah. Damn it, I hate it when I'm right. Like seriously. This is one of those times where I wish I was fucking wrong like every other time. I mean, come on. But exactly what I thought could happen and what probably would happen did. I went, at least I think I did 9, 9, and then barely 7 on this one. So, on one hand, it's like, kind of sucks because the set was maybe a little lesser than, you know, when you look at it. But on the other hand, it shows true effort. You know what I'm saying? When you go from 9, 9, and then 7 on the third one, that weight's pretty challenging. And it's still not a super low number. It's not like I can only do 4 or some bullshit. Like 7 is still pretty good. And before I even started, I said if I could be somewhere between 7 and 10, I'll take it. So I don't really know why I'm complaining. I shouldn't. So you know what? I'm gonna stop right now. I'm done. Well, I'm not done, but I'm done complaining for right now. So something else pops up. All right, give it time. All right, let me do just one back down set, and then straight into a drop set. I was gonna do maybe 2, but from here on out, after I do one more, I just want to do a bunch of flies and maybe a little bit of trap work at the end, but mainly hit the side and rear delts after this. So I'm just gonna do one more in the drop set. All right. Next up is some seated dumbbell lateral raises, shoulder flies, whatever you want to call them, same thing. This is one of my staples, one of my go-tos. If someone was to ask me, what's like the one exercise best for shoulder development and in terms of sculpting the shoulders for that certain look, that bodybuilder look, that V taper, wide shoulders to make your waist look narrower, it would be shoulder flies. I prefer seated. You can do them standing. Really nothing wrong with doing them standing. But if you want to isolate your shoulders a little more and take the temptation and somewhat the ability to cheat, if you do it seated, it's a little better for that. Now, not that's not to say I can't cheat. I can swing, but when you stand up and do them, I mean, you can get some ridiculous looking form in here with some people. I think we've all been guilty of it. You train long enough, you've done it. All right, don't fucking lie. I've done it. So, but I found it's easier for me to stay stay true to what I'm trying to do if I just sit down and do it. Like I said, the last 2 to 4 reps, I'll start cheating just to get that extra 2 to 4 reps. But for the most part, it's pretty strict. So yeah, let me change the song. I'll normally with shoulders, I don't do any pressing for shoulders. Like 9 times out of 10, what I just did, I would not really do. I don't need to do it anymore. But every so often, I like to throw it in just for nothing else, just the movement pattern, just to give me a different stimulus, and especially behind the head, it opens me up. If you have really bad shoulders, it's not a bad idea to do some behind the head pressing, because it just opens you up. Now, granted, start off pretty light. Don't fucking jump in gung ho and try to be Superman and go way too heavy, because then you're gonna make it worse. So start off really light. If nothing else, just use a Smith machine bar. It controls the pattern or the path for you, and you can just focus on pushing and slowly build from there. But if you think about it, like most, you know, it's hard to put an exact number, but most lifts are out in front of you. Your bench press, your pull down, um, even your shoulder fly to an extent, all your rows, your cable flies. Like a lot of this stuff is out in front of you. So like it's no wonder when you think about it, people start to develop shoulder issues. They're always like this, rounding out in front, pushing or pulling. So like I think it's important to have at least one or two movements where it opens you up. Now that's where squats are really good. Um, just the movement itself, it opens you up, and then you just squat. But if you don't, if you do other things than barbell squat, behind the head shoulder press, good option too. Anyways, I am rambling like a motherfucker. Let me get a song going. At this point, it doesn't even really matter what song. I just need to get something. Here we go. All right. I was gonna say though, typically when I start with this, I do the 55s or 60s. Obviously, I'm already 4 sets in and a drop set, so it's a little fatigued probably. So I think I got the 50s, just a touch lighter. That should be good. Two more, maybe just maybe three more, but at least two more like that. Ah. Uh, uh, okay. There's a chance I did more reps on this one than the first one. If that's the case, I need to cut the rest period down on the next one or two, how many more I do, because that's just unacceptable, man. This shit should not be getting easier. If it is, you're not really trying. All right, let me see. But yeah, one or two more. I don't know. I'll feel it out after the next one and see if I want to do another one. Nah. I could see my grip starting to be a problem on the next set, but I'm gonna do one more. It'll be four sets here, four sets of behind the head shoulder press. So I'll be 8 in already. And I'll see what I want to do after this, but I'll do one more in a drop set, and I should be pretty pumped up. If I'm not, I'm doing something really, really fucking wrong. So we'll see. Uh,
Drenched in a color I can't ignore. It read like a wound I could hold, like a hand that was already cold. I traced every line with a shake, and the ink felt heavier than gold. Tell me who wrote you here. Tell me who left this scar. I can hear your silence burn under the skin of the stars. Letters in red burn through my hands. Letters in red, I don't understand. You were still talking after the end. Letters in red, letters in red. Letters in red. The room kept its breath in the walls, while the mirror learned your face. Your shadow lay over the sheet, like a saint in the wrong place. I kissed the edge of the page, and it tasted like iron and rain. Now every word that you saved keeps opening up the pain. Tell me who wrote you here. Tell me who left this scar. I can hear your silence burn under the skin of the stars. Letters in red burn through my hands. Letters in red, I don't understand. You were still talking after the end. Letters in red, letters in red. Letters in red. Say it again, say it again. What did you leave for me? Say it again, say it again. When the whole room thread in the trembling seam of the page.
You were a pulse in the dark, a light that the black couldn't cage.
And if this love was a wound, then I wore it open and proud.
Now I am screaming your name through the hush of the falling crowd. Letters in red burn through my hands. Letters in red, I don't understand.
You were still talking after the end. Letters in red, letters in red, letters in red, still in my chest.
Letters in red,
I can't forget. You were the message I couldn't defend. Letters in red, letters in red. Letters in red. A violin breaks through the dark, and the paper fades to white.
Oh wow. I don't know about this. I don't know if I like that. Mm. Mm. That's a little better. I'll try one more, I think, of the drop set, and I don't know. I think I might call it a day after that. Ah. Ah. I don't know what really else to do for shoulder posing. I mean, there's not much to it. But if you couldn't tell, I tried something new at the end for traps. I said I wanted to throw traps in. I don't train traps that much. I mean, I don't really need to. You know what I mean? Kind of a humble brag, but they're not bad, you know, considering I train traps like once every 6 months. But I seen, that exercise that I did where you sit, the bars behind your calves, between your legs and the bench, and you just kind of shrug it up and real slow and control the. I think it's intended to reduce the weight, so you don't need as much weight because the movement itself is more isolated. You can't cheat as much. Um, but the setup and everything, I don't know if there was enough of a payoff for me to want to do that all the time. You know what I mean? Like it was okay, but to be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of that exercise. Now I could wake up tomorrow, my traps be extremely sore, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I was a little too quick to the trigger to judge it, but I won't know until tomorrow or the day after really if that's gonna happen. If not, I don't know if I'm actually the biggest fan of that because the setup and like you have to slow down and really focus because the bar's behind your calves. So you have to make sure the bar path is good. Of course, I switched from the free weight barbell to the Smith machine, which helped with that. But it's just an awkward movement. And again, I thought it would isolate my traps more, but it actually, because I was leaning forward and just position was awkward, I had to incorporate more muscles to be stable, like my core and lower back, and even my hip flexors were kind of starting to hurt. Not hurt, but they just started getting sore almost just as much as my traps, and obviously that's not really what I was wanting. So I don't know, man. I'll say this: the chances are that's not going to be like a main staple for traps when I do hit them. Again, unless I wake up the next day or two and they're like really sore, I don't see it sticking around very long. But anyways, I mean, pretty good shoulder day. I mean, I don't know, decent pump. I would have liked a little better one, but it's pretty good. So I'm just gonna wrap this up now. Pretty simple and straightforward. I don't think I need to really say anything else. I'm gonna go do some cardio. Tomorrow will be chest again. Start with some incline bench. I'm excited, man. You guys know I love chest, so I'm already looking forward to it. I'll see you guys then.